This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 topics in about 10 minutes for Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. I'm Derek Gilbert. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. At 5 in 10 is the address. And then please download the Skywatch TV free app, which guarantees we will never be canceled from you. Topic number 5 today. Who's paying Biden? I think it's a fair question. Who is really paying Joe Biden? Because he's acting like he's not working for the American taxpayer. You see, he canceled the Keystone XL pipeline project on day one of his administration. He's drained the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to dangerously low levels at the same time as our two main geopolitical rivals, Russia and China, are bolstering their reserves. And some of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve was actually sold to a Chinese petroleum company linked to Hunter Biden. Last week, the administration did it again, confirming that it will cancel 7 controversial oil and gas leases in an area of Alaska called the Arctic National Wildlife Reserve. These leases were awarded during a sale in 2021. Biden, during a written statement, said the move will help preserve our Arctic lands and wildlife while honoring the culture, history, and enduring wisdom of Alaska natives who have lived on these lands since time immemorial, end quote. Yes, but some of those Alaska natives actually depend on the revenue generated by the oil pumped from the North Slope. The rest of us depend on the products generated from the oil produced on the North Slope of Alaska and elsewhere. And while the Biden administration is making us dependent again on other nations who are not necessarily friendly to the United States, like Saudi Arabia, you might remember when oil prices were real high last summer, they actually went hat in hand to Venezuela, asking Venezuela to please pump more oil for us. Well, Alaska's 2 senators blasted the move. GOP Senator Lisa Murkowski, who is a squishy Republican, rhino actually, so for her to come out strongly against the Biden administration is telling. She said in a press release, these decisions are illegal, reckless, defy all common sense, and are the latest signs of an incoherent energy policy from President Biden. End quote. The other Republican Senator, Dan Sullivan, said in the same release, quote, not only is this an affront to the rule of law, it's also a grave injustice to the Inupiat people of the North Slope, especially the people of Kaktovik, the only village in the Alaska National Wildlife Reserve, end quote. It's all about protecting people of color unless those people of color actually benefit from the energy produced on the North Slope of Alaska, in which case we'd rather buy it from the Saudis. Biden and his handlers are either just completely energy illiterate or they are just flat out anti-American. Topic number 4, Mystery Lab. The chairman of the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic has threatened to subpoena the FBI and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services after they refused to produce information on an illegal Chinese laboratory that was, and I quote, caught red-handed conducting dangerous research related to COVID-19 and other deadly diseases without a license by FBI agents and California officials, end quote. In letters sent last Thursday to the FBI and the HHS, Representative Brad Wenstrop of Ohio noted that they'd failed to respond to prior requests for information and says that if they fail to comply with his oversight, quote, we will be forced to evaluate the use of the compulsory process, end quote, issuing subpoenas to force them to bring this information to Congress. The letter also puts these agencies on notice that the subcommittee may request that employees sit for voluntary transcribed interviews. This laboratory in California, found in the central San Joaquin Valley near Fresno, found in what was thought to be an empty warehouse in Reedley, California. Public health staff observed blood, tissue, and other bodily fluid samples and serums, thousands of vials of unlabeled fluids and suspected biological material. They also found 900 genetically engineered mice, engineered to catch and transmit COVID-19, living in what were described as inhumane conditions. 773 of the mice had to be euthanized. Another 178 were already dead. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention tested the substances, detected at least 20 potentially infectious agents, including coronavirus, HIV, hepatitis, and herpes. Agents also found thousands of packaged boxes, many with shipping labels from China. Officials have not been able to determine who exactly owns this laboratory, but the question remains, why are Health and Human Services and the FBI refusing to turn over information to Congress? Topic number 3, speaking of labs, a lab-created entity. Scientists have grown an entity, this is how it's described in the article, an entity that resembles an early human embryo, created without sperm, eggs, or a womb. This was done at the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel, led by Jacob Hanna and his team. They created what they called an embryo model using stem cells, and they describe it as a textbook example of a real 14-day-old embryo. Now, that's the legal limit in many nations that are allowing this type of chimeric research in the laboratory. This so-called embryo model released hormones that turned a pregnancy test positive in a laboratory. They say that the goal here is to try to come up with ways of understanding genetic diseases in the womb. Now, obviously, this kind of embryonic research on, well, preborn humans is ethically problematic, to say the least. This research, published by the journal Nature, is described by the Israeli team as the first complete embryo model for mimicking all of the key structures that emerge in the early embryo. Again, created without sperm or egg or womb. This is just the stuff that we know about, the stuff that's going on in labs not willing to publish the research. May well be far beyond this. Topic number 2, drone cops. I think we're living in a panopticon, a virtual panopticon now, under surveillance all the time. I mean, your car is spying on you, transmitting all kinds of data about where you go and how long you spend at each location to the automakers. In the UK, they are now proposing the use of drones to assist in policing. Now, there are some valid reasons for this, being able to use for search and rescue, or perhaps deployed quickly in the wake of a phone call, maybe to confirm that there is an incident that needs police attention to help better manage resources. You can see some good arguments for this, but the idea that drones would be mounted on tops of buildings in major cities, ready to launch at a moment's notice, sounds rather dystopian. The infrastructure for a future government that would find it useful to know what you are doing all of the time, which is rather the point. Again, we understand the utility of these things. The article I found was in the Daily Star in the UK, and the argument was in favor of the use of these drones and how police are being restricted by current flying regulations that treat drones like commercial gadgets and not, and I'm quoting now, not the potentially life-saving tool, end quote, that police think they can be. Well, you know as well as I do that once police or government gets its hands on a tool like this, they will never, ever stop. We've known for more than 15 years that the National Security Agency here in the United States is using AT&T switching centers to essentially wiretap all telephone and internet traffic coming into or going out of the United States. It will only get worse. Just be advised, this is the future, and the future is already here. Coming up, some good news from Israel. Archeology, again, confirming the Bible. Straight ahead on 5 and 10.
We want to make sure that you know how you can get your copy of this incredible, one-of-a-kind Bible with expanded Apocrypha in the Last Chance Defender Bible package. Right now, while supplies last, we're offering this giant limited edition Defender Family Bible for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling. But if that wasn't enough, we're also including the Defender Publishing's 120 ebook collection absolutely free. Now, this data DVD library collection includes 120 of Defender's all-time best-selling books featuring authors like Dr. Thomas Horn, Derek Gilbert, Carl Gallups, Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis, Sharon Gilbert, Allie Henson, Donna Howell, Terry James, the late great Michael Heiser, and so many more, too many to number, This DVD library also includes the limited edition Defender Bible with expanded Apocrypha, and all of these books in this collection come in popular ebook formats so you can read them on EPUB, PDF, Kindle, and other handheld electronic devices. It's devices of your choosing wherever you go, including the Bible that we're talking about today. These items hold a retail value of $1,400 if you had to buy all of these ebooks separately. Yours now for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling, so don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special offer. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Last Chance Defender Bible package right now.
This would make a really, really amazing Christmas gift too for all of the people in your life that love to do research, or your pastor. So buy it now and save it and give it to them for Christmas.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
Just stash it somewhere.
Yeah.
Item number 1 today, archaeology is cool. A new excavation project in Jerusalem has unearthed steps recorded in the Gospel of John and not seen by human eyes in about 2,000 years, not since the Romans sacked the temple in 70 AD. The Israel Antiquities Authority, National Parks Authority, and the City of David Foundation earlier this year announced that the Pool of Siloam, which is a biblical site that is, again, mentioned during one of the miracles of Jesus, healed a blind man there at the pool, will be open to the public for the first time in 2,000 years in the very near future. Hopefully, when Sheridan and I return early next April, we'll be able to visit the Pool of Siloam. First built about 2,700 years ago by King Hezekiah, part of Jerusalem's water system, bringing it all inside the walls so the Assyrians couldn't, kill the people of Jerusalem during a siege from thirst anyway. According to the Gospel of John, this is where Jesus healed a blind man, and a small section of the pool, which has been fully excavated, has been accessible to the public for several years, but now they're talking about opening the site to tours, and we're looking forward to it. Once again, the Pool of Siloam, which until recently had been pointed to as an example of why the Bible is just inaccurate, well, with every new discovery, once again, the history contained in the Bible is proven correct. And once again, just reminds us that archaeology is cool. Skywatch TV depends on your support to do what we do, and that is to fund the work at Whispering Ponies Ranch. During the month of September, for your gift of any amount, no minimum, if you're in the U.S. or Canada, we'll send you a copy of David Heavener's wonderful book, True Power. That is the power of the Holy Spirit within you. Understand it better with this book, and we'll send you a copy if you're in the U.S. or Canada for your donation of any amount during the month of September. Take advantage of this opportunity to add it to your reference laboratory, gift it to a friend or whatever. You can find out more at our website, skywatchtv.com. Look for the red donate button there at the website, or call us toll-free, 844-750-4985. This week on Skywatch TV, we talk about the Apocrypha. Books of the Bible included in the original 1611 King James, still included in some editions of the Bible today. It is back now in the Defender Family Bible. Got a copy of it on the shelf back behind me over here. It's a hardback Bible. It's an expanded Apocrypha. Not only includes the books that were part of the 1611 King James, but also the book of 1st Enoch, which contains the first 36 chapters, the book of Watchers, and chapters 37 to 71, the book of Parables, prophetically significant because it prophesies the coming of one called the Son of Man. Title Jesus applied to himself nearly 80 times in the New Testament. Well, we talk about that and how valuable the Apocrypha can be to understanding Christian theology on this week's Skywatch TV. I was honored to be part of that panel, and you can watch the program right now at skywatchtv.com. Our broadcast schedule for the over-the-air program, same program, just, broadcast over the air, is at skywatchtv.com/channels. You can also watch it right now. If you've got the Skywatch TV channel on Roku or Apple TV, you'll find it there. You can catch it on the interwebs, youtube.com at Skywatch TV now, or rumble.com/Skywatch TV. But better yet, get our free app for your smartphone or tablet. That brings all of our content directly to your device, bypassing the gatekeepers of big tech. Also, a Bible with multiple translations, an audio Bible with multiple translations, and other features as well. Bring it into the palm of your hand, whether you're holding an iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire phone or tablet. We've got apps for all of those and links to their app stores at skywatchtv.com. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.